Hey, in this video, I want to talk about Kajabi and how I'm using Kajabi to build $1 million business. My online business revenue has doubled year over year for about 4 years now. And Kajabi is one of the things that has made that continue to be possible. And I fully expect that my earnings will be at $1 million in just a few years. It'll be a 7-figure business. And Kajabi is the tool that is making that trajectory possible. I know many entrepreneurs who are using Kajabi and doing so at a very, very high level. So if you are serious about your online business, if you have an online course business, a membership site business, any kind of business where you are educating people online and selling digital products, there's nothing better for your business and for its future and its growth than getting on Kajabi. So we're gonna dig into what I'm using Kajabi to do, how I'm using it, why it's working so well, and then I wanna give you 7 reasons why Kajabi is sending my business into the stratosphere, and I think it can do the same for yours as well. So for that, stick around. My name's Lane. I love helping entrepreneurs get their message out and make a great income doing it. So if that's you, be sure to subscribe to this channel, give this video a like, and I want to offer you something. If you're looking to try out Kajabi, that might be why you're watching this video, you're trying to decide, is this right for me? You can actually jump into Kajabi completely for free and try their free trial. Go to lanesebring.com/Kajabi. Not only do you get the free trial that Kajabi offers, but I'm gonna give you something that I think is gonna be incredibly valuable to getting you started on the platform. And that is my $25,000 course launch email template. In this template, I'm gonna give you the exact emails that I used to launch my first course on Kajabi and make over $25,000 doing it in my first 3 launches. Now, this was really exciting, especially at this point, because I wasn't making much of anything prior to this, and I get on Kajabi and I'm able to launch a course and have it do pretty well. So in this email template, I'm mapping out the exact emails and the strategy, the launch strategy that I use to make a launch successful. So I wanna put that in your hands for free. So go to lanesebring.com/Kajabi, jump onto Kajabi, try it out. And if you decide to stay on with Kajabi, I'm gonna send you that as my way of saying thank you, because that is an affiliate link which helps support this channel. So if you appreciate what we're doing here and you're gonna use Kajabi anyway, then use my link below. So let's dive into how I'm using Kajabi to build my $1 million business. The first thing we need to do is set a foundation of where my business has been, where it is currently, and what the trajectory looks like going into the future. I started this whole thing back in 2016 when I wrote my first book. I didn't know what online business was, didn't know that one day I would be doing this full time. I just had a message that I wanted to get out, which again is what I like helping people do now. But I had a message, I wanted to get it out, and I had been blogging, I had a podcast, and I wrote a book, and I released it. And to my surprise, it ended up being a #1 bestseller in its category on Amazon. So I thought, hey, this is pretty cool. And I started to see money coming in. I started to see a few $100s a month coming in, which I thought was pretty cool. I went from not making anything on the side to making something, which those of you who have done online business, you know that that's sometimes all it takes. You go from just having your W-2 income at your job and nothing else to all of a sudden you're making a few $100s or $1,000 a month on the side, and you think, wow, if I can make $1,000, if I can make $500, maybe I can make $5,000 on the side. And it starts to get your mind turning, and it's a really exciting thing. So that was in 2016. I didn't really track it much. I just kind of, wrote the book, and that was about it. By 2017, I was starting to think differently about this and really wanted to see how can I grow it. But I was still in a deep learning phase. I was studying everything I could get my hands on. I was watching YouTube videos constantly. That's actually one of the reasons why I created this channel, is because I was looking for resources like this. I could see that there were people who had succeeded wildly, like Pat Flynn or Gary Vaynerchuk. I would look at those guys and I couldn't relate because they were so far into the stratosphere that I thought, well, what if I'm just starting out? Who do I turn to then So that's what I'm all about here, is I want to show you how you can start small and begin to build in a really significant way. So 2016, I write the book. 2017, I'm still kind of treating this like a side hustle. Same thing in 2018, although between 2017 and 2018, my revenue did double. Not sure how. I think maybe my audience just grew, but I wasn't intentional. So it was almost like accidental growth, but the numbers were small, so doubling wasn't a massive deal. 2019 comes around, and this is when I begin to get extraordinarily focused. I got some resources, and I found Kajabi through some coaching that I got from Graham Cochran, and I am so thankful for Kajabi because I got on there, and at first I was a little bit nervous about the price. If you're interested in how the price breaks down, you can check out this video right here where I talk about what you get for the price on Kajabi, but ultimately you get so much more than you pay for. It's really one of those products that is a financial no-brainer once you dig into it. But I was still a little bit nervous because I had all these different pieces of software that I was using. I had ConvertKit for my email, I had Bluehost for my web hosting, I had been building a course over on Teachable. I had all these different pieces of software, and that's just a few. Not to mention things like ClickFunnels for sales funnels or lead pages for landing pages. I mean, there's so many different pieces of software needed. And in 2019, fortunately, I got some really good coaching to ditch all of that and jump into Kajabi. And I did, and I have never looked back. I started on Kajabi in April of 2019. So in 2019, I released my first course on Kajabi. It did really well to my surprise, and that's when I began to stop treating this like a side hustle and treat it more intentional as a business. In 2020, COVID happened, and that made it so that I worked from home in my job. And working from home gave me a little bit more time to work on my business because we just weren't doing as much. I wasn't cheating time. It was just that there wasn't as much to do, so I was able to put a lot more time into my business, and I started to really see some growth, and that was exciting. And so midway through 2020, I made the plunge to go full-time with my online business. And fortunately, the type of work that I did in my job as a pastor is very closely related to what I do on my online business, which is resourcing pastors. I have two online businesses that are both hosted on Kajabi. One is called Preaching Donkey, and it's a resource site for preachers. The other one is just Lane Sebring, what you're watching right now, where I help online business owners and self-publishing authors and aspiring entrepreneurs to get their message out and make a great income doing it. So I manage both of these two businesses on Kajabi, with the Preaching Donkey side of things being the much larger one at this point. So when I went full time in July of 2020, I had to make this thing work. I mean, it was sink or swim. If I don't make this thing work, then my kids won't eat. And also, if I don't make this thing work, I guess I'm gonna have to go back to working a 9-to-5 job, which I don't wanna do. So in 2020, I decided, okay, this is not a side hustle, it is a business. And I started thinking about it like a business and not just like a hobby that makes me money on the side. And when I went full time, it was easy to do that because it has to make money. Now, where does Kajabi come into this? Kajabi comes into this because Kajabi provided me with 7 different massive benefits when I went on my own and as I'm growing my business. In 2020, my business doubled again. In 2021, it is on the trajectory to doubling again. And I'm not saying that to brag. The numbers at this point are not impressive, but I fully intend for them to grow over the next few years. And Kajabi is a big part of why it's been possible to continue doubling revenue. And it's possible to see where this plan is going. So I'm on a path to 7 figures, and I think I'm gonna be there by the end of 2025. And so that's why we're gonna dig into the 7 things that Kajabi is doing for me to make that whole thing possible. Number 1, Kajabi consolidates my online business tools. So I talked about this before, but I had several different pieces of software that I was running, and Kajabi puts them all in one place. And this does a lot for me. It integrates all of my pieces, right? From my email list, to my website, to my landing pages, to my content. all of it is under one roof, it allows me to host my email list, process my sales, host my membership site, host my online courses, host my website. Everything is all under one roof. And what this does is it allows me to have a much simpler, more streamlined business. And that leads to number 2, which is related, and that is Kajabi frees my time. I am not spending time trying to make all these different pieces of software talk to each other. I'm not worried about whether my online course host is properly integrated with my email list, and if that's properly integrated with my opt-ins. I don't have to worry about any of that because all of it is under one roof, and Kajabi manages each person and the path that they're on so well that once I have a few things set in place that are super easy to do within Kajabi, I don't have to worry about it. This frees my time to focus on income generating activities, building new content, developing new products, and growing my audience. Those are the 3 things that are income generating. And by the way, they're also the 3 things that I'd much rather spend my time doing than managing all these different pieces of this massive puzzle. Kajabi just does that for me, which is really cool. Number 3, Kajabi streamlines my sales process. So Kajabi has a thing called pipelines, which is like funnels, if you're familiar with that term, that people watch your content, they opt into your list, then they're taken through a sales funnel where they're presented with an opportunity to buy your product. It's a basic, simple sales process. What Kajabi does is it streamlines that entire process, again, because they're under one roof. So you can easily, and in a very streamlined way, create a process where you know exactly that if someone watches this piece of content, downloads this lead magnet, they're gonna be taken through this sequence of emails. They're gonna be presented with these opportunities, whether it's more free content or more value or the opportunity to buy one of your products. And if they do, they're gonna be taken down this path. If they don't, they're gonna be taken down this path. And Kajabi just streamlines this entire process and makes it super simple, which again goes back to one of the previous ones, which is that it just frees my time. Once these things are set into place, I can go back to income generating activities. So let's review. It consolidates my tools, it frees my time, it streamlines my sales process, and number 4, it keeps up with my customer's journey. Every single customer that opts into my list is a unique situation. They've taken a very particular journey. They've watched a piece of content, they've downloaded my lead magnet. By the way, if you want tips on building an attractive lead magnet, check out this video right here. But they've downloaded my lead magnet and they're in a journey. They're on a path within my system. And Kajabi just keeps up with that. I can look up anybody's name and see every email that was sent to them, whether they opened it, whether they clicked on it, how long they've been a subscriber, what products they've bought, if they've been presented with products and didn't buy them. I can see all of that, and it just keeps track of that for me, again, all under one roof. Number 5, Kajabi helps me attract new leads. The way it does this is I can build beautiful landing pages. And maybe some of those landing pages just have a simple opt-in that delivers them the lead magnet that I've built. But it does it in a seamless way and it's beautiful. Or maybe that page is a little bit more elaborate. Maybe it has a workshop on it. Maybe it has a free evergreen webinar that people can watch. Whatever the case, Kajabi makes it super easy for me to attract new leads, which is the biggest part of growing a business. Is you've got to have a growing audience. You have to have more and more and more leads if you want to grow. And Kajabi just makes that easy to do because everything is beautiful and they know what you're after as an online business owner, and they present it to you and make it super, super simple to do. The 6th way that Kajabi is helping me grow a $1 million business is that Kajabi continues to innovate and adapt to a changing market. I've been on Kajabi for 2 years and there are things that remain constant, and those are the things that matter. But Kajabi is also continuing to innovate to make sure that they're on the cutting edge of what people are after in online business, what's gonna help you grow, what's gonna help you get more leads, what's gonna ultimately help you increase your revenue and become successful as an online entrepreneur. Kajabi just is on the edge of that seat. And so I know that they're developing they're growing, they're making the product better and better and better, yet my price stays the same. The things that need to remain constant for it to be profitable for me are constant, and they're continuing to work and grow and make it better and faster and smoother and sharper and all the things that it needs to be, and that's a pretty cool thing. Finally, the seventh reason why Kajabi is helping me grow my $1 million business is that Kajabi makes me look like I know what I'm doing. Because I sometimes feel like I don't, and yet Kajabi makes everything look so beautiful and streamlined and intentional that I can build a sales page that I'm proud of. I can build a landing page that I think competes with anybody out there. I can build an email sequence that I think is amazing. And Kajabi just makes all of this stuff come together in an amazing, beautiful way. So they make me look like I know what I'm doing, which makes me feel like my revenue can continue to double until one day I am at a 7-figure business. Now you might be asking, why do you need to make 7 figures? I don't need to, I want to. You know how much money I could give away if I had a 7-figure business? You know how many people I could help? You know how many vacations my wife and I could take? I mean, it's just all kinds of things that would be amazing about that. But for me, it's about the journey. It's not necessarily the destination. It's the fun that we're having on the way there. And I want you to jump in on that fun with me. So go to lanesebring.com/Kajabi, pick up my course launch email template, get started on Kajabi, and be sure to jump into this playlist right here to learn more about Kajabi and all of the possibilities that you have on the platform. So click right there. I'll see you in that playlist. Jump onto Kajabi using my link, and I can't wait to see what you do.